So we're going to go straight on to a talk on repair cabs. Laura was going to come and talk to us in person, but I'll let Laura explain why yourself. How about?
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be with you. I'm self-isolating, but it looks fun there. I wish I could be there.
Turn my back to you.
So I've tried to keep this bit to about 10 minutes. The notes that I think Stephen sent you were fantastic, really good, very comprehensive. So I don't have to go over that again. It's lovely that you've decided to hold a repair cafe, because they really are great events and good fun and great community things. The main points, as you know, are to reduce waste, reduce things going to landfill, and which reduces emissions. The other great thing is about instilling skills and confidence in other people to learn how to mend stuff, because we seem to have forgotten how to do that, some of us. So one point I didn't really express with our repairers is I wish I'd laboured it more, to ask them to really explain to clients as they sit there what they're doing, what their processes are. My husband did this to me once with a pen that had broken. I found it really quite illuminating. Anyway, that's a critical part of Repair Cafe. It is not repair shop like off the telly. You don't drop off your item and then go shopping. No. And you don't stand there crying either. Anyway, as your preview notes are so good, if it's okay with you, I thought I'd go through a scenario like you were opening your first repair cafe and you were welcoming people in. So I'll just go through, if that's all right. Shall I do that? 10 minutes?
Yep.
So obviously you arrive early wherever your venue is. You might have found one already, hopefully. And I find the repairers generally put up the tables and chairs. The cafe team go into the kitchen and start setting up all their stuff. And the admin team put up the notices, any banners, the A-frame on the pavement outside, and prepare the welcome desk. The notices we're using at the moment are obviously the mask one. This is a little bit problematical in Glastonbury, but we do try our best. So that's getting everyone to please wear a mask. The other one is house rules, which I think you got by email. And I did a couple of these on, I think it's A2 size that we stick on the wall, but there's a few others around the venue as well. And then on the door where people come in, there's a welcome to Repair Cafe, and it basically tells people that they have to check in and what the procedure is. Of course, most people don't read this, but if there's a queue and they're standing there, they might read that. And I'm happy to send these things to you if you need them. So we're all set up, and the welcome desk is the next thing. Now, I always use a cloth on the table. I think it looks nice and neat, and a vase of flowers. I feel they sort of soften things, having flowers. I like flowers. There's a sort of welcome sign. So it's welcome to Glastonbury Repair Cafe. And we've got supported by Glastonbury community, working towards a no waste future. We do like to be ambitious in Glastonbury. So also on the welcome desk, there's a donations bucket, which you can't really miss because it's big and orange. But these are also on the desks of each repairer. And there's a sign about, if you're happy with the Repair Cafe, we put that on there as well. And there's some details about the next events. This is all on this welcome desk. And there's also, for the benefit of the people who are running the admin bit and the front desk, it's a list of repairers who are there and what they do. So it's like a quick reference. We've only done 4 in Glastonbury so far, so we are getting to know each other, but not intimately. But I think most people know who repairs what. What we find with repairers is they can often do lots of different things, you know, mechanical, electrical, electronic, and gluing china and all sorts of things. And then we've got some people who can sew. So that's good. We've got somebody who sharpens knives and scissors. That's really handy. They've got a fantastic one in Wedmore. It's absolutely incredible. They have it on the stage. It's quite a performance. So that's the welcome desk. And then we've got this check-in sheet, which is numbered. So this is on the clipboard. So you've got the numbers down that side. You've got name, phone number, and the item. And we've also got numbered cards. So the first one gets number 1, and they give their name and their phone number, and they say what item they've got to repair. Don't let them stand there and tell you all about the item and what they think's wrong with it and when they bought it, because that kind of takes up time and you don't need to know that. So you instill in them that you need the number back when they've had their item repaired. And then you can sometimes have a chat about how it went, or even if they just got advice, sometimes they're very grateful to know that the thing is actually dead and nothing can be done. At least they know. So you do that, and then you have an assistant who takes the client over to the repairer. And it's a really nice opportunity to say the name of the person, introduce yourself, introduce them to the repairer. I know we all say we don't remember names, but this is all part of the whole community aspect of this repair cafe. It really does tick lots of boxes. So the repairers, they also have a donation bucket, a little one on their table. This is a recycled yogurt pot, which I seem to have rather a lot of, so I thought they'd come in handy. We recycle everything at Repair Cafe. Ideally, everybody should have their own name badge. I did make them initially and hope they'd take them home and wear them again. So when people start to arrive, they come in, welcome them. If they haven't got anything to repair, they're welcome to come in and have tea or coffee. And then you fill in that little form, get them to read the rules at some stage. Some repair cafes like Wedmore, they got everybody to sign a disclaimer, but it doesn't really make much difference. There's lots of rules splattered about and they can read them. And it's just so that they know it's not definite that their item will be repaired. There's no guarantees in life, but hopefully they'll get somewhere along the road, and often things are repaired, which is great. It should be 1 number and 1 item, because initially we found some people came in with a whole bag of stuff to be repaired, and they just had 1 number and they sat with the repairer for the whole 2 hours. Well, that wasn't really fair. So it's 1 item, 1 number, and when you've got that repaired, you come back, join the queue and sort of check in again. So that usually goes fairly well. If a queue starts to form, you've obviously got to ask people to take a seat or go and have a coffee. Don't let them stand hovering over the repairers, because the repairers really don't like that. I was told that early on. And don't forget to take photos and take notes of any unusual fixes or interactions. We once had to fix a couple of lightsabers for 2 little girls because their dad was too busy to do it. He was building a house. So he brought the little girls along with their lightsabers. So that was a good photo opportunity. And then you can post it on social media with everyone's consent. And lastly, I always send an email after the event to thank everybody and let them know how many donations were received and any incidents, and just to remind them of the next event. It's really important, as you already know, to keep communicating with people, especially when they're volunteers, because they're like gold dust, aren't they? So has anybody got any questions?
Yeah. Do the repairers have to be professionals or covered by insurance and things like that?
No, they're not professionals. If they were, I think it would cost a lot more money than a donation. we did take out public liability insurance, but that's a general thing. I've dealt with Wedmore, Wells, and now Glastonbury, and my experience is people who like repairing things, they're absolutely mad keen on repairing things. So they're not professional, but they're very helpful and kind, and they generally do a really good job. So no, they're not professionals. Well, I guess they use their professional, if they've been an electrician or a mechanic or something, they're going to use those skills. I mean, my husband is an aircraft engineer, so he doesn't really agree to repair any aircraft unless they're toys, but he does have that knowledge.
Anyone else? Question?
Does pat testing come into it? Electrical stuff?
Yeah, we've actually purchased a pat tester. It was about £100, I think, and we have to do a short course in order to be able to sign things off. This was one of our very keen repairers, and he wanted to get this pat tester because he feels they can be hired out to others. I don't think we've used it yet, and it's not vital. We never used it in Wells, and I don't think they've got one in Wedmore, but it is another aspect. It's yeah, out of my range of knowledge, because I'm no way am I a repairer, but we have got one which you might be able to borrow.
How do you deal with the sort of liability issue? Because obviously you're repairing something. If it's simple toys, then there's no problem. But do you not repair things like maintenance equipment? Go back to the back test. How do you make sure the repair is good? i.e., acceptable?
Oh, okay. Well, it's all really down to the rules, which say, you know, you come in with your item, if it's a radio or a clock or a lamp, and you just sit with the repairer and try and repair it like you would do with a neighbour. Because if we let insurance almost get in the way, we'd be scared to do anything for each other. So we have repaired hundreds of things and they've all been fine. But, you know, if you go down the road of having them professionally tested or what have you, this just wouldn't work, I suppose. But the fact is it does work, and it's all over the world, and it's really useful. But it's like just working something out with your neighbour, and you wouldn't ask your neighbour, you know, are you insured? And everyone's just sensible. So that's what the disclaimer is all about, really. But it is successful in my experience.
You're basically applying a sensible, pragmatic approach.
Without the red
So
tape.
try and get the person who's coming in to repair to do some of the work. So, if you like, they're taking responsibility for the repair as well.
Yeah, it's a shared thing. It is. Yeah, there's a lot of trust.
When I was publicising this talk, somebody raised the matter of would it take away work from professional trainers?
Yeah, I hear you with that, and that has been addressed from day one, I think. And what's her name? Martine Posma was very clear on that. And in fact, what we do is we make a list of all sorts of repairers of sewing machines or jewellery or what have you, and we will refer clients to other people. It's very much a two-way street. So we're not really taking away work from professional repairers. And a lot of people don't repair things because even the call-out charge is so expensive. So, for example, with Dyson Hoovers, there are so many of these Dysons which are thrown out when they could easily be repaired. And in fact, I met a couple of women the other day who said, oh, if I bring my Dyson in, could you repair it? I don't want it. You can give it to someone else because I bought a new one, because she thought it was going to be too expensive to repair. But this is for everybody. This is for all levels of the community. And it's often rich people who can sometimes unwittingly cause more problems because they've got the money to go out and buy thousands of new things and throw away a lot of stuff. Does that answer?
Amen. Any other questions?
I didn't get any emails or anything, but so my question is there a central repair cap network that Langport would be tapping into? Or is it here just little groups?
Okay, I expect you'll get the notes from Stephen, but yeah, there is a forum, and yeah, it's not overseen by anybody else. You can actually buy the Repair Cafe Bible. I think it's about €30 now, which we did in Wells, and then you get all the up-to-date logos and the font they're using at the moment. We didn't buy it because we already knew how it worked, but I quite like to honour that original Dutch lady and keep that blue and orange sort of presentation. Because I thought it was a really good idea to set it up. So there is help out there, and you can join up to various networks, but yeah, it's very much what you can do on your own or as a small group or a town or a village.